And hello, everyone. I'm glad to welcome you to our evening podcast, My Bookshelf, where we are discussing interesting books. It can be fiction, non-fiction, everything that can be interested in the books that I have read recently. And today to our agenda is discussion of a book written by the most famous speaker, journalist, and just an interesting person, Larry King. How to talk with anyone, anytime, and anywhere. I've recently read this book, and actually, this is the really interesting and full of different tips and techniques how to talk book. How to talk with anyone, anytime, and anywhere is the key to building confidence and improving communication skills. I can say this definitely. Written by Larry King, this guide provides simple and practical advice how help make communication easier, make it more successful, and even more enjoyable. Actually, the author, in his sarcastic and a little bit humoristic manner, talks about his own experience, his own career, and how he was able to achieve so many in his job and his career. So let's start discuss the book. So King knows what he's talking about. Actually, with his experience and touch of vanity, he explains what being a good talker is all about, and I can focus on different parts in this speech. I want to just maintain some interesting techniques that I consider the most important and have to talk about things. So Larry King, as one of the most important and famous journalists and speaker as well, thinks that to be successful is to talk well. Talking people are often more successful, but somehow a lot of people fear to talk to strangers and authority figures. It's okay that some of us can struggle with talking with strangers, even with people that we know. We are always kind of don't want to lose our authority because of our speech. So that's why this book really, I think, the gold that can help us to overcome this situation. The first thing that the Larry King is talking about and he's very persistent in this way, the basics of successful conversation. The more you talk, the better you get at it. But to effectively practice, understand the fundamental first. So the most fundamental thing that you should consider: honesty. Be honest to yourself and share that with people. For example, I think that share your experience is also can be key to success or good communication, because people always interest to know something new. And I think that as you make people part of your experience, they'll appreciate and respect it. So the right attitude, develop and cultivate the will to talk, even if it feels uncomfortable for you. You should go out from your zone of comfort, and only by doing this will you learn and master conversation. And as I understand from the book, and I think it's very interesting and important to mention, that we should talk everywhere. We can talk to the mirror, we can talk when we are riding the car, we can talk just with ourselves and imagine that we are in some different situation. For example, you can the author also recommend, and I think it's very interesting. For example, when I'm preparing to record the podcast, I also do this. You can write different questions, different notes, and then you try to expand this by talking, looking at mirror or on different pictures. I don't know. And I think also interesting question that can be answered is that how make people be interested in you and in your conversation. And I think I like this idea, and author provides us with the tip that people always interested in themselves. So if you want to start a dialogue, if you want to make people like you should talk about themselves. You should ask them about their experience. You should ask them about their interests, what they keen on, and everything that connected with their life. Because all people are selfish, so that's why you should talk about themselves, and this can also help you to establish these relationships. So, the main idea of the next kind of a chapter is that you should be open. Be open, and it doesn't mean that you should disclose your personal secrets. It means that you should believe in what you are talking about. You should be open to people. You shouldn't look like you are hiding something. You can hiding something, but still you can hide something, but still be open, because you can talk about things that it's okay for you and doesn't show that you are not end your message. You should look like you are talking everything and you are open to new ideas. You are open to new topics, themes. Even if you are not good at it, you should look like that. Yeah, and actually on this idea I have my own example. For example, if you are a slutter, tell people you're a slutter. You just take longer to say something and they should know it. As it is out in the open, you and other don't have to pretend nothing is wrong. Because when in the very beginning you didn't say it, you can say it. Because it's make your conversation easier. Because people will understand that you understand your kind of a problem or your peculiarity in speech, and you will try, and that's make them estimate you better. So, and the next big idea that I got from the book, and I think in this case the author was not that sarcastic or humoristic as he used to be in the very beginning of the book. In this chapter he is kind of more persistent and wants to motivate us. This is a really motivative kind of a voice of the author in this chapter. Okay, I can call this breaking the ice. This chapter means that you should overcome your shyness and people with whom you are talking about, because you should understand you are not the one who feel uncomfortable or who feels shy. The person with whom you are talking about, definitely if you are strangers, you together feel shy. So you can be the people who break the ice. You can start asking questions about themselves, as I talked about it before in my speech, and I think it's important, and I support author's point of view that talk to people about themselves and they will listen for hours about this. So avoid yes or no question. This is also the idea that author try to persist on. You shouldn't ask question yes or no, that closed question, because when you're asking this question, the conversation is not kind of to be continued. Because if you are asking open question, you can share experience, you can add something in information, you invite people to talk to you and to speculate about something, to show the other point of view. It's everything is okay. And the most important thing in every conversation, and I support in this case I think the author points of view, this is body language and eye contact. In this book he provides us that the body language is the second language you speak. When it comes natural, it works great. I like this citation from the book. When you fake it, it feels unnatural and contrived. And when you look unnatural, you look like people who is not open, who don't want to talk anymore, and that's why people can go ahead and don't talk with you. Eye contact, it is must to make, but the eye contact I think is the most hard part. For example, for me, eye contact is something that is really hard to do, because I always like running my eyes somewhere. I start to look at this because it's hard for me to focus on eyes of the person. So I think I have to work on it, actually. I don't know about you. You can share with me your ideas on this topic in the comments, or write me on my channel, because I think every of us, even if we are great speakers, we can have problems with some of the aspects of this. In my case, this is eye contact, because I can record different speeches, I can make videos, but immediately when I'm in a situation that I should look at person and talk, for example, during different interviews, it's kind of a make me feel uncomfortable. So we should train, we should find our mom, sister, anybody, and try to make a speech, for example, 5 minutes, and just look at eyes and understand that it's not that hard that we can think about. And I think the most important thing can be also, and I support this in this, I saw it in book, and I think it's also important when you talk, and to make your conversation good and sufficient, kind of, you should always listen, because if you are not listening, the person with whom you are talking about will also not listen to you, because when you listen, you can support. When you listen, you can add something. When you listen, you can understand how the person feels. You can feel the tone of the conversation. But when you are not listening, you can't just make a line in your brain and continue this dialogue. So, what else I can share with you? Of course, an obstacle for many people, mainly because people are intimidated by fame, people easily embarrass themselves and battle the achievements for someone. Celebrities are normal people, and for example, when you are talking with people who you think they are more better and cooler than you, don't think like that, because we are human, and maybe 5 years ago that person with whom you are talking about was the same as you are, and you can be the same as this person now. So you shouldn't be ashamed of yourself. If you shame of yourself, the people you are talking with will feel it, and they will not uncomfortable with you, and that's why the conversation can just break, and nothing will go on. And I think the most important idea also I think it's kind of in the very end of the book, and the author speculates about this more. Maybe some of us will not support this idea, but I support that successful people are successful talkers, and vice versa. If you talk well, you can be successful, because communication is the key to establish relationships with people, because with the help of your voice, with the help of your communicative skills, you can establish any relationships with any people, and you should know how to be flexible, what topics you should cover, what topics you should hide to talk with other people. And as more as you're training, as more as you're trying to do this kind of a communication, develop your communication skills, you can be better in talking, and you can be better in any things you want. If you want to find a job, you can impress your employers, but by talking with them, by your voice. Even if you have nothing to do with this job, even you don't know how to work, you can impress them by your ability to speak, but your ability to ensure them and to convince them. So, and I would like to add something from myself to this book, because I think it's very important to break bad speech habits. We need to start listening ourselves. Pay attention what comes out of your mouth. Think about what you are going to say. Try to plan the next sentence as you speak the first. Practice makes perfect. English a speech monitor, a friend or family member who zaps you when using a nothing word or trendy talk. So, what can we say about this book? That this is must to read book, and I really recommend you to read this book. But I think in my podcast I tried to cover the main ideas, the main things that were written in the book. So I hope you like this. And the most important information that I got from the book, and I shared it with you. King makes a lot of good points. Through he draws out some too much and undervalues other aspects of talking. But that's my opinion on this book, and I hope it helps you to improve your communication skills. So we'll see you on our next podcast, and it will be dedicated to some interesting book, and I will share it with you with my Telegram channel. I hope you subscribe on my channel. So goodbye. Believe in yourself. You can make this world.